It's finally time for the Grandmaster Energy Absorber. I can't believe how many of Earth's elements this took. We've been burning coal, wood, magical fuels, anything we can find. But feast your eyes. Everything required to harness the magical power of the Dragon Egg. It cost us our soul, but this will unlock the era of automation. Let's do it. You dare to ignore our warnings? You dare to turn your back to the Earth's offer for peace? You fool. If this door is opened, we may never see it closed again. You leave us no choice, mortal. Wait, what's happening? No! The craft's failing! All my work! I can barely move! What is going on? No! 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 Game over. Hello out there. I'm Geronimo, and welcome back to Greg Tech New Horizons. You may notice a change of scenery. If you haven't seen the community posts here on YouTube, we paid a heavy price for corrupting our soul and defiling the planet. Mother Earth hit us right where it hurts. In the computer. In all seriousness, we may have pushed things a little too far aesthetically, and my computer just couldn't handle it. It's completely toast. If you didn't see where we were taking things, the videos will live on. I'm really proud of the world, but with every end comes new beginnings. 4 weeks ago, I was feeling like we were right on the cusp of snowballing. All the investments we made in infrastructure started paying off, and some serious progression was right ahead of us. But then, right before a Friday evening stream before Father's Day weekend, it all came screeching to a halt. My computer died out of nowhere. It's not much more than a paperweight now. Since I was using a laptop, I know, don't ask. My previous lives are hard enough to explain. Major component overhaul wasn't really an option. Getting a new PC just wasn't realistic. I started thinking about how much effort and love has gone into this world, how much more I want to do, and how much I love the story, and it made me pretty sad. Not the right attitude to bring to your first Father's Day weekend, am I right? Luckily for me, my always encouraging wife was there to save me and get me thinking properly. A few weeks prior, she had also arranged for two of my best friends to come visit that weekend, and it helped me clear my head. She's clairvoyant at times, I swear. My buddies sympathized with me, they're gamers too, and I realized I just needed to take a second to be mad about my bad luck. And my bad peripheral management, ultimately leading to a USB controller failure, causing a cascading short circuit that bricked the motherboard. And I needed to hear the question of questions from my pals. So, you're just done now, or what? Let's find out. Earth Mother, they have returned! How is this possible? The industrialization continues as if uninterrupted. This can't be happening. What do they intend to do? Their power level, it's over 4,000? Surely the talk of harvesting the source tree with bluster. The consequences would be cataclysmic. Oh no, we're not done. We've only just begun. We're back and more powerful than ever, and we're nearly ready to create more power than ever. The building behind me somehow appeared between when we left and when we came back, and it looks perfectly suited for high-octane gasoline production. We'll get to that, but first, we need to do some prep. We've been working towards making the next tier of circuits. The epoxy setup has been working great, and we added a little setup next to it to turn it into boards, and even got ahead of the game a bit and got the fiber reinforced boards for the next tier. I know benzene is the meta, but I have to say the oil route has worked out great. With the exception of chlorine, we've had all the chemicals we needed for epoxy in enormous supply, even the carbon for the reinforced boards. The ancient tome refers to this setup as the radon loop. We're really getting into some gnarly stuff here. We're mixing plutonium-239 and uranium. It's a good thing this closed loop, because even touching this stuff can cause some real problems. It's just a large chemical reactor in a furnace, with some conduit to cycle the outputs between machines. The goal is the radon in the tank. Pretty straightforward once you have the stuff. We need the radon for Quantumize, part of the machine components for the EV tier. Getting the plutonium was a bit of a trick though. It's a super low chance output from centrifuging uranium-238, which itself is a chance output of thorium, at least at the moment. Luckily, we went the sodium persulfate route for circuits. Having it handy to bathe the crushed thorium in made this much easier, and we also used it to get better returns on platinum from nickel. We'll get to that too. First, we need a few more machines, some EV power, and more circuits. Let's get to some progress. Hopefully this will hold us over until we can automate all of it with AE. In the background, we've been macerating Instone and running it through a centrifuge for tungstate. This is our earliest available path to tungsten, and the input at the start of the tungsten line. Tungsten unlocks the last things we need to craft the Grandmaster Energy Absorber. There's a bit of a process involved in turning the tungstate dust into tungsten dust. First, combining it with sodium and lithium to get scheelite, then mixing the scheelite with hydrochloric acid, blast furnacing the resulting tungstic acid for tungsten trioxide, then blast furnacing again with hydrogen to get the tungsten dust, and ultimately tungsten steel. To cook either of them, we need TPV coils on our blast furnace. Good thing we've been processing all that nickel. TPV dust requires platinum and titanium, and to cool it, we need a vacuum freezer running at EV. Volant's coming in clutch once again to remind me that I can just double up the HV energy hatches. For some reason, this just didn't occur to me even though I've done it with other multi-blocks. Dingus. Here we go. Hot TPV in, and TPV in gets out. The 2X wire, mica foils, and molten nichrome make us the coils, and also finally runs us out of mica around 400 hours after mining it. The EV assembler is required here, which took the last of our original EV circuits. The timing worked out just right. We can't really use them yet, but since we have them, let's upgrade this guy. It's been a long time coming. Snazzy. Making the nano CPUs for the new circuits needs glowstone, and after crafting all those, we're fresh out. Continuous trips to the nether are not really on my agenda. I'm also wasting all my precious building blocks on these alvearies. Where are your priorities, Geronimo? Get with it! Let's do something about that. Always feels good to put long dormant machines to use, and the components for these two crop managers were sitting in a crafting table for about 350 hours, the last of the original LV circuits, and the final gift from the starter base. We've got glowing coral and spruce bonsai going here. No stats or improvements to the seeds. We may get to that later. For now, this is more than enough to keep cranking out alvearies and nano CPUs and anything else we need. We're still after the Grandmaster Energy Absorber, but then what? With AE stabilized using dark magic, we need to continue down the infrastructure path. These cones won't process themselves, and neither will the ore we need to mine. To do those things, we need to upgrade power. Significantly. Cetane has been amazing, but scouting ahead in the Ancient Tome, it's pretty clear that the infrastructure demands are IV are significant. And plus, if power relays are strong enough to crack this tree, we need a fuel that burns hotter. Remember the high-octane gasoline? And we'll need multi-block combustion engines to burn it. This is going to be a big effort, and we want to do it right. Here's the plan. This is one of the reasons why deep explanations as part of a video series are really hard to pull off. This plan involves 8 distillation towers, 3 oil crackers, 13 large chemical reactors, a multi-block centrifuge, a multi-block electrolyzer, and a fluid heater. Plus, everything we need to process the oil at the start of the chain, which we'll be getting in raw form from 20 oil princesses. It needs a dedicated applied energistics subnetwork with fluid capability, IV components we don't have access to just yet, and all the processing lines and materials we'll need to make those things. some new alloys that are going to require HSSG coils on the blast furnace, and not to mention gigantic quantities of tungsten, tungsten steel, and other metals that require one or both. We used the first of our tungsten from the Instone processing on a block of tungsten, which allowed us to add the tungsten bead to our collection. The phthalic acid is a little bit of a chore to make right now, but that's why we need this upgrade. Many machines await us. I recently put a poll out on the channel asking what kind of content people would most want to see. Let's play style with deep explanation, some shorter form videos explaining basic mechanics, or doubling down on the storytelling style. I know this doesn't represent everyone who's watching, and a single answer poll format isn't ideal for nuance, so if you have an opinion, let me know in the comments. For now, it's time for progress. That's a lot of stuff. The steel and the stainless steel costs have been tremendous. RBs are barely keeping up, and we're still not done. We need HSSG coils for the final alloy for the multi-block electrolyzer. We're missing a bunch more machines, and we need to power this IV assembler in the short term. Oh yeah, and we want to do this on an AE subnetwork, remember? These projects are becoming quite sizable, but soon we'll be able to break into the autocrafting era. That means it's finally time. We need to finally get the Grandmaster Energy Absorber successfully. We've got the IV circuits, quantumized, tungsten, HSSG, and even the void metal. Everything has been building to this. The warp, the infrastructure, the bees, even the progression itself. Let's do this. The fool proceeds. Gaia weeps with despair, her path of peace rejected. There will be hell to pay, mortal. If the Earth Mother's magic won't convince you, if you truly intend to harvest the source tree, we will call on another goddess. Retribution is upon you, mortal. The Earth Mother's vengeful right hand is awakened. The goddess Nemesis will not be kind.